gang gather around in Glitchy's room to do a video call checking up on Mickey. It works at first, but the computer malfunctions because of the outdated graphics card. Or it could be that it looks like an XP-based system. So he, Mario, and Bob tag along to find a new ray tracing card. They somehow end up with a can of RTX beans from the shop, which SMG4 throws it out in disgust, but it grows into a beanstalk. I would ask what happened if someone were to cook and eat those, but I don't want to find out. The trio climbs up the clouds and approach a house with a goose that lays NVIDIA cards. Now I know why scalpers were trying to hoard these. They sneak into grab one of them, while Mario and Bob are distracted by powerful PC graphics. This causes them to get caught by a giant nerdy ogre, so they escape back to the castle. They manage to get out with the goose and chop the beanstalk, making the ogre fall down, damaging part of the city. Now with the new graphics card in place, Boken's repair skills notwithstanding, the computer is back to normal and they're able to make the call with a surprise. The card works so well that it makes Maggie's camera much more clear, making her look more detailed. She talks about her vacation so far, while we're waiting for the rest of it to come out. And Glitchy offers her to talk with the fans, awkwardly breaking the fourth wall. Even though the rest of the gang isn't sure that's how it works. 8.5 out of 10. I like this take on the old Jack and Beanstalk story. It's fun, unique, and interesting. Jokes are good, editing is nice, and the three main characters bounce off each other pretty well. While Mike ways they could only break the fourth wall so much before it becomes a plaster, it works fine in moments like the ending where the characters become confused, but not as much when they point out the plot being stupid like SMG4 says, which can mess with the immersion. And I'm sure you were waiting for me to say this, Maggie's YouTuber model does look nice. They actually didn't need to do this, but the ending turns out to be a reveal of her, technically the channel's, live streaming debut. SMG4's first live stream ever happened weeks after this video was released. We're Lucy playing as Maggie, chatting with the audience. It wasn't a groundbreaking event, but it's still a fun one, and they're planning to do more of them in the future for anyone who allows to do something new, that is. A bit of speculation here. I believe this model was initially planned to be used in Sunset Paradise, but was scrapped to favor her redesign to better fit the art style. So it was a report which looked for much closer to her standard appearance to start doing in-character streams. So unless they stop doing content to constantly stream, why are they not allowed to join in the YouTubing craze that's still going on, even though their shows are still the priority? Try and come up with an answer that isn't they're doing it for money. Oh dear, anti-fans. Time for another trending parody. Mario runs to the theater for a spaghetti club, but bumps into a rap battle, messing up the boy's flow, causing her girl to be taken away by her evil dad. Boyfriend forces Mario to bring back girlfriend. No, really, that's their names. Since she happens to be a Pasta Club president, so they practice for a rematch. Later, the two face off against Daddy Dearest and win the battle. But the father wages war and summons his entourage, including his wife. Mario calls as his own team to make it a fair fight. The following challenges feature Luigi vs. Mommy Dearest, The Guards vs. Skid and Pump, Bob vs. Lemon Demon. Funny enough, the former didn't do much rapping. Glitchy vs. Mr. Krabs? Okay. And finally, Mario vs. Whitmore. Literally going out with a bang. They successfully beat them at their own game, giving Daddy a heart attack, causing the spirit of Pa Rappa the Rapper to be freed from his possession. The chibi couple reunite, but Mario interrupts their kiss, asking her to start a spaghetti club, leaving Glitchy extremely baffled.
I still have no idea what's going on.
10 out of 10. I didn't expect this to turn out so fantastic. The jokes and characters are funny and the video captures the feel of the game thanks to the editing being so believable. It had to be mods they were using. And surely those must be released by now. It seems that if Mario was in series, is getting better and better with every popular indie game the internet pays attention to. Since they're leaning towards more accuracy to the source material, no matter how much the onlookers having no business with this channel telling to stop making a cash cow, SMG4 will still parody games until the end of its run. At some point they might as well try to enjoy the ride, providing if the videos are well done. If the games can maintain their successful following, Cyberpunk. What sounds like a 90s cartoon spin-off starts with Maggie's childhood when she meets her hero, the legendary Ren, who wears her future trademark gear. He gives away his beanie to her out of kindness and inspiration to strike, so she starts getting to a turf wars by messing up her parents' room, and the rest is history.
God damn it, but you got paint in the goddamn house!
Cut to the present day, Mario showing Maggie's baby pics with the hotel staff. They then begin talking about their own childhood, starting with Mario and Bowser. The two were in the daycare when Bowser started falling for Peach. Mario gained interest in Italian food, and the old man became bald from a fiery incident. Luigi was lost in the Best Buy. Yes, those existed in the 80s. And wandered into the adult section. Oh yeah, they went there. And he plays around with a vacuum-sucking King Boo's kid in. The two have never been the same since. Melanie was grown in the farm, and she worked in Black Mesa, served in the army, met the 44th President of the United States, went to space, and toured with Kojima all before she auditioned for Slick Productions. And yada yada yada, no, Belly showed up and looks like they haven't forgot about her. Bob was a lonely kid in Canada who was bullied by young warrior bros. And he gained his trusty katanas from a young big smoke to defend himself, employing his brash attitude. If you're wondering about when we first actually saw him, we'll get to that. In 1987, Uncle Doom threw a birthday party at a Fazbear's Pizzeria for his nephew Shermie, who was extremely upset that he tried to destroy the place. He got bit by Golden Freddy. Who would have thought? And after his uncle kicked him away, he became a kind little mushroom we know, wanting to become a Boy Scout and become disowned. Lastly, SMG4 tries to tell his story but recollects no memory before stepping into Peach's castle during account loss. And Screams is a Danny Cressing introvert. Pretty funny yet concerning if you think about it hard enough. 9 out of 10. Surprisingly good and weird at the same time. Why is that? Well, learning to have some of the characters become who they are interesting concept. It's a shame this implied to every character since they were in this video. I would love to know about their childhoods as well, especially Tari since they have the original within in the universe. Although the execution is mostly solid, it still leaves a lot of untapped potential, especially with Glitchy's childhood. Now you might be wondering, or have yelled at the crew for this, did they forget about Bob being trapped in Ganondorf's castle? Well, here's the thing. In his debut video, when he claimed he was stuck in there for 500 years, he may have over-exaggerated that fact out of desperation because he really wanted to get out. And it makes sense considering the type of character Bob is. Heck, even Mario's backstory is contradictory too. Because look, we made 2 videos on it. Yep, he was making mistakes back in his prime. It's almost as they're trying to prove upon all videos by reimagining them like any writer or showrunner would do. And would you look at that? The next video, someone proves what I just said. Let's get on with it, shall we? Where we left off, Glitchy panics about not knowing his history. Instead of doing some soul researching for a while, he calls SMG3 to ask where he comes from. And surprisingly, he too doesn't remember, so he asks the Asian protectors about it. One of them shoots a ray at both hobos, which takes them to a flashback. The whole event seems to take place after Mario recovered the power source like in the real game. He and Peach look up the sky, seeing a USB drive plummeting towards Earth. Once it crashes, it reveals that SMG4 is an extraterrestrial within the universe. He explores the area while the USB randomly zaps bystanders, turning them into bizarre counterparts. In other words, that's how they became stupid. While he's browsing in the computer store that has its customers also turning crazy, Glitchy grabs a laptop, records a hyperactive medic, and uploads it to YouTube, which becomes an instant hit. This inspires the soon-to-be meme to create silly content for the site. Meanwhile, Mario and Peach inspect the USB, but Mario's struck transforming into the scab brain he's known as. SMG4 arrives asking Mario to do something foolish, which he delivers. Then he sort of goes back to normal after it's uploaded. A bunch of memes, including some that have yet to become the ancient protectors, steals Glitchy's laptop and are forced to take it back. They record them in order to put them back in their place. The USB undoes the progress. Believing it is too powerful to handle, the two plumbers throw it in a gorge and the Mushroom King returns to normal. Somewhat. Glitchy feels like studying memes to get to know them better, prompting him to go to meme school, and Mario offers him home at the castle. And in the flashback, but 3 complaints that a story was only about SMG4. In another flashback, a black USB is about to crash towards the internet graveyard when it was still a jungle, but it warps near Peach's castle, making the evil plumber cross paths with his foe. The up-and-coming meme lord mocks his rival, and they start a chase, ending on an open note. This is going to be a heavy discussion, that's for sure. Starting with the video itself, it's funny and decent at best, but my crumbs lie within the story. If you recognize how the series actually began, it makes the plots confusing because of possible continuity errors regarding select past videos, keyword being possible, because not everything in the story has been told. Is this the true beginning of the series, or is it just some ironic one-off shitpost? Well, here's my theory prediction that might be outdated not long after this review is published. Since SMG4 and 3 both came from the USB drives, I think those are representations of whoever put them in the computer. Of course, the SMG4 universe is obviously the Matrix. It's why Mario characters, you have 2 characters and me coexist. Who is the real owner of those drives? Where did the orb that teleported SMG3's drive come from? How did they lose their memories and when they started attending meme school, which could be referring to the wizard school they went to? And are those videos like Keegan and lying SMG4 versus SMG3 still canon? It would be a problem if these questions were never answered, but it looks like that might not be the case because the time of writing this, Luke is planning a special video that won't be released for another week or probably this coming Saturday. And you will know it happens to be on the day after the show's 10th anniversary, so there's definitely going to be some buzz over this. What am I missing here? Oh yeah, if you're one of those guys who depend on early videos be all in all to the lore, say this video is one big red cup.
Boy, your little knees must be sore from jumping to conclusions. Ha-cha-cha.
Clearly that you will speak for those videos being the real canon. Yeah, you get really paranoid over story arcs developing, which are already canon in nature, almost if you hate the adventure. Excitement or something, overall, it's a 6.5 out of 10. Still a decent video, but with the next one being the anniversary special, it could use more momentum. Good try, guys. Wow, I can't believe we're not far from this magnificent channel turning to a decade old. They come a long way and hopefully nothing will stop them from there. Thank you guys so much for watching episode 10 of Multi Reviews. Share this with your friends if you like this video and consider subscribing for more. wear a mask, get vaccinated, stay safe, and I see you guys next time. Peace out.